Hey, I'm Chrissy. I'm from Grassy Narrows, and I'm gonna be your MC today. We're gonna start off with some singing, so we need some singers up here. If you're a singer, come up here. We're gonna start off with the song. There was a little ceremony that was done here. So welcome everybody. I see people are still rolling in. We're gonna be doing a march after some speakers. We could have some marshals here. They're wearing red ties around their arms. So if you need help, we also have some nurses, I believe medical team, in case anybody needs medical attention. There's t-shirts for sale there. There are these ones. There's something over there, the information booth, I think, over there about the nuclear waste. There's snacks and drinks on this side here. And if you need to use the washroom, there's porta potties, but there's also a building over there that's opening up for people that need to use the washroom. So I think the route that we're gonna be taking is we're gonna walk through the park here, and we're gonna walk down Red River, and then on to Cumberland, and then to the Spirit Garden. So, and then over there we're gonna have some more speakers, and I believe we're gonna be doing offerings to the water there, because that's what this is about, right? All of us are here to protect Ake and Nebe, the earth and the water. That's why we're all here. Let's see. What's next? Yeah, so we'll get started with some singing here. So they're just gonna get together, and then we'll get things going. Okay, so the song that the ladies want to sing is called the Aki song, so it's for the land. And the song comes from a good friend of ours, Eric Shane, in Manitoba. That's where this song comes from. Okay, so we did a kiss song. Now we're gonna do a nibe song. Okay, so I'm gonna call up our first speakers. We're gonna have Chief Solomon from Fort William First Nation, Alvin Fiddler, the Chief of Grand Chief, Chief of Fort William, Alvin Fiddler, the Grand Chief of Nan, and we're gonna have Chris Moonias, Rudy Turtle, and the Chief of Neskantaga. I forget his name, sorry. Can you start making your way up? So we're gonna have, first of all, the Chief of Fort William First Nation. Sneak out from under there. Come say hello. Ani, bonjour.
Louder.
And then
Can't hear you.
Doji. Sorry, is that better?
Yes.
Okay. So as I've been introduced, I'm Michele Solomon, Chief of what they call Fort William First Nation. I'm Bear Clan, and my spirit name is New Pack Woman. I was really happy to see when I arrived here these Say No t-shirts, because I already had my No t-shirt on, which is really cool. I thought the stars were all aligned. Anyhow, it's a pleasure to be here with all of you this afternoon, and it's really beautiful and overwhelming, the number of people that have come out to show solidarity and you know, our collective effort, our collective interest in saying no to nuclear waste, because one voice alone is not enough to put a stop to nuclear waste coming through our communities and nuclear waste entering our waterways. But it's our collective effort can certainly make an impact. I see that people are still having a hard time hearing, and I'm not really sure why. I can hear it really well here, right beside the speaker. Closer to the mic, like I'm gonna be like kissing this mic if I get any closer. So sorry to the speaker who comes after me. I may have spit all over this microphone. I'm so sorry. Anyways, so I was just saying how grateful I am that we're able to come together collectively
and bring strong voice to this issue of saying no to nuclear waste that, you know, threaten our life, threaten our water, threaten the animals, threaten the earth, you know, threaten our children, threaten our very existence. So this is a very good reason for us all to come together, stand together in solidarity, and, you know, stand against this important matter. Fort William First Nation, the leadership of Fort William First Nation has certainly made their voice clear in opposing nuclear waste being transported through our traditional territory. And we stand in solidarity with all the people that have joined together to be strong against this. And I want to acknowledge the leaders who have continuously brought voice to, you know, toxic materials entering our waterways. Grassy Narrows and their leadership, you know, they continue to make sure that our voices are loud and that this does not fall by the wayside. So I really want to acknowledge Grassy Narrows. And if I get this wrong, forgive me, but I also want to acknowledge the nuclear-free group and their collective efforts to continuously keep this issue at the forefront as well, and their knowledge that they bring to this issue of the impacts of nuclear waste itself, you know, something that I'm not an expert in, but I appreciate their expertise and the work they've done to inform us and inform themselves. So with that, I just want to say, as I said, I'm so grateful that I can be here with all of you today and bring words to this issue on behalf of the leadership of my community and my community members to say that we stand with all of you, and you know, together we can make a difference. Together we can be strong. Together we can say no to nuclear waste and hopefully put a stop to nuclear waste coming to this territory, coming to threaten our lives here in this area. So, Chimikwech.
Okay, Miigwech, Chief Solomon. We're going to have Alvin Fiddler, the Grand Chief of Nan.
Hello, Miigwech. We're here today because we love our land, we love our waters, and we care about our children's future. That is why we are here today. And for our leadership at the Nishnawbe Aski Nation, we've been very clear. Even going back over 30 years, when they first passed a motion at one of our assemblies to declare Nishnawbe Aski Nation a nuclear-free zone. We don't want nuclear waste even within our territories. And even though we get reassurances from those that are promoting this project that the risks are minimal, we know that the risks are high, too high. And we care about those communities that could potentially be within the transportation corridor. We care about those communities that live downstream from these river systems. That if there is an accident, God forbid, that the damage would be great, and the damage would be long lasting. And that is something that we cannot afford. We cannot afford to take that risk. And that is why we are here today in solidarity, not just with the Grassy Narrows, but those that have said no to nuclear waste, that we stand with you. And I call upon those that are promoting this project to look elsewhere, to store these dangerous chemicals that we cannot, as I said before, we cannot afford to have these dangerous chemicals within our waters, within our lands, that they need to look elsewhere. And we will not be bought off, and that we will do everything we can within our powers, with the powers of all those around us, and with our allies, that we say no, that we will oppose this project moving forward. We will consider every option that is on the table for us to stop this. And I encourage all of you to stand with us. So thank you so much for being here.
So the next speaker we're gonna have from the Land Alliance, he's from Grassy Narrows, Rudy. Rudy Turtle.
Hi, good afternoon. Bonjour. I want to say good afternoon to elders and young people and everybody that's here. Just want to say thank you for coming. Miigwech. First of all, I just want to start off by giving a little background. I come from a family that has lived on the land for. My dad was a trapper, and he was a fishing guide, and my mother was pretty much a trapper as well. She was a tiny lady, small, and but she still went out on the land to trap. And you know, growing up like that, we ate nothing but whatever the forest offered us. We ate ducks, geese, moose, deer, fish. That was pretty much our diet growing up. And the other thing is bread. I hardly ever ate bread when I was a boy. Most of the time we had bannock. Having bread was a treat. Nowadays it's the other way around. I've got more bread than bannock. So, you know, life is changing. Life has, even the climate is changing. There are new animals coming into our area. There are new birds coming into our area. And there's a slow change coming in. And we see that. We never really had raccoons in our area. Nowadays I see them once in a while when I'm driving home. A couple of years ago when I was driving home, I thought they were two little cats. And I went to investigate. They turned around, looked at me and ran off. Those were two small raccoons. I couldn't believe that. Just outside of Grassy Narrows. And so those kind of changes, you know, they're taking place. And but you know, we watch these things, we witness these things. Our elders watch these things, these changes that are coming. It's even harder now than it used to be. You know, we did a study years ago with our forestry program. And as we were doing that study, there was a component there of elders' knowledge. And the people from MNR said, we can't do that. We can't really accept what they have to say because they don't have a degree. Because they don't have a university papers because they've never been in a classroom. What stupidity! Our elders are our classroom. We get our knowledge from our elders because they have lived off the land all their lives. Anything I know of the land, it has come from my grandfather, and it has come from my father. And I haven't forgotten that knowledge. I enjoy sleeping out in the bush. It's one of the best experiences that you can have. Being out on the out in the wilderness is priceless. To be able to hear the birds singing, to hear the loon calling in the evening as you're sitting down, and if there's waves, to be able to hear those waves hitting the shoreline, and to hear the wind, the melodies of nature. That is good music, and I love the sound of it. That is the best music you can ever hear. You know, they have these relaxation techniques, and I've been to one of them, and they make you put on headset, and they play like a little stream flowing, and they tell you to close your eyes and relax, and soon you're all relaxed and falling asleep. You don't need a tape recorder, go camping. You get the best experience if you do that. I challenge you, go do it sometime this summer. Go to the bush, go close your eyes and listen to the music that nature provides. It's the best therapy that you can have. The land heals you. And now, what's happening today with this threat of nuclear waste, that experience is going to be destroyed and removed. We're not going to be able to enjoy nature as we used to. We're always going to be nervous, thinking about the poison that's in the land, thinking about our animals, whether they're safe or not. That's threat that's coming to our land because of nuclear waste. I saw one of them last fall. They invited me for supper here in Thunder Bay, and I sat with two of their people from WMO, whatever they're called, and they kept telling me, it's safe, it's okay, everything's going to be all right. In the back of my mind, I thought, no, I don't think so. Everything's not going to be all right. It may be all right for the first 10, 20, or 30 years, but after that, when things start to deteriorate, when the underground starts to break, and when it starts seeking into the rivers and to our riverbeds, then the disaster starts to reach into nature. What are they going to do after that? They won't be able to fix it. What are they going to do if a train derails and spills all over a town? What are they going to do? Nothing. Yes, nothing. So that's why we want to stop this, because we want to preserve our land. We want to preserve our way of life. And I've said this before many times, this is not just about us indigenous people. It's for all of us that love nature. It's for all of us who like to go camping, canoeing, who like to go swimming at the beach, who like to enjoy nature. We want to save this earth. We want to save our lives, and we want to save this for our children and for our grandchildren and for those who are far away ahead of us. to encourage you to keep on fighting. I want to encourage you to keep on shouting. I want to encourage you to keep on opposing. I want to encourage you to keep on standing up. I want to encourage you to keep on walking, and I want to encourage you to keep on saying no. And I want to say this. I want to say this to you. There's coming a time when we will have no choice but to do whatever it takes. Did you hear that? There's coming a time and there's coming a place where we will have no choice but to do whatever it takes to stop this thing. And we will do whatever it takes. We will fight together. Miigwech.
Woo, Miigwech, Rudy Turtle. So another thing that threatens the land and the water is that Bill 5. So we need to kill Bill 5. Kill Bill 5! Kill Bill 5! Kill Bill 5! So when our lands are under attack, what do we do? When our lands are under attack, what do we do?
Say no!
Okay, so we're going to get Gary, Chief of Neskantaga, to come up and speak.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a nice day, and I'm very happy to see all nations,
This is Gary Quisess,
all
Chief of Neskantaga.
nationalities here standing up for
Rally going on at Waverley Park right
nuclear
now
waste
to protect the land
not to
from
happen.
nuclear waste.
So, being around, I went down the river where our youth having standing on the ground to oppose Bill 5, Bill C5 that's coming through in our lands. I went to pick Movert yesterday, and I see law enforcement there. You know, there were a whole bunch of them, but they were part of the rally. You know, they were more protecting us than the road, like for our safety. That's what I seen when I went down there, because where you're sitting today, the grass, you know, is so resilient. You step on it, you lay on it, it still grows. That's us humans. Just like the trees, the leaves fall in the fall, they come back in the summer. That's resiliency, and that's how we should be. You know, this nuclear waste, it doesn't belong in our lives. You know, we go fishing every day, have fresh fish. You know, we go hunting in the fall and spring to have our food. That's our livelihood. And here it's going to be destroyed with this dangerous chemical that's coming in our lives. And we don't need this in Canada. No, there's only 2 in the world, I know, nuclear waste in Europe. And people there are all getting radiation. And we don't want that. We have our young children, you know, we have our future. We have to protect them. You know, so we'll say no to nuclear waste. You know, it's very important. The other thing is our highways. our highways are not safe. You know, a weather like this is an accident. Every day on the highway, Trans-Canada Highway, there's an accident. And our lives, we will get poisoned from this nuclear waste. You know, and that's why we say Gawin. You know, Gawin. You know, that's we were here last year. I spoke a little bit here last year because it's very concerning with this nuclear waste. You know, our waters come from Ignis area all the way to Waverley River. You know, we're all connected with water, and we don't need this nuclear waste to affect our lives, our future lives. You know, so what do you say? Kawin. Yeah. So miigwech.
So what do we do when our lands are under attack? What do we do when our lands are under attack? Okay, I want to ask Chris Moonias to come up and speak. After he talks, we're going to get ready to do the march, and there's going to be a new road. So it says we'll be going right on 2nd and left on Pearl down to the water. So here's Chris.
Hello, miigwech. Miigwech for inviting me to speak. My name is Christopher Moonias from Neskantaga First Nation. I'm a former chief of Neskantaga. Just recently in March, that's when I finished my term. I've been very vocal about opposing mining and nuclear waste for the past several years. For the longest time, I thought I was speaking alone. I was alone, that's what I thought, but I see a lot of people starting to rise and start getting vocal, especially leaders up north. Today marks 11,111 days of our boil water advisory. That's shame. Shame to the government. Should have been fixed back in 2017. And the boil water advisory started February 1, 1995. And we've been living under a boil water advisory since. And I've been very vocal, and the government wants our resources. The government wants our precious resources. The government wants our rivers, wants our land. They want to destroy our rivers. They want to destroy our land. You can't do that when we can't even get a proper clean drinking water. We can't even get housing in the community. We're still 120 houses short to fit everybody in the community. We have over 200 people living in Thunder Bay, and we only have a band membership of just a little over 500. You know, when you're not providing those resources, how can we say yes to what the government wants? You know, those are the things that we fight for. And one time I was asked, what is your business for standing up against nuclear waste in northwestern Ontario? I was asked that before when I was a chief, and I said, all the rivers that flew along that highway, all the rivers that are along that highway flew towards north, towards my community, towards the remote north. So that's why I also have a right to say no to nuclear waste. So, and I get that a lot. I get that a lot. You know, you're way up north, and you're you're always speaking against development, Anto, but that's okay. I mean, I'm fighting for my people. I'm fighting for my land. I'm fighting for my my environment. You know, when they talk about the Ring of Fire, Neskantaga First Nation and Ottawa First Nation are the only communities that live on a river where the Ring of Fire is proposed to happen. So that's why we're very vocal about it. There's no other community that lives there on that river. So that's where the proposed Ring of Fire will happen is on the Ottawa watershed. So that's why, and it's a 100-year-old mine, and you're talking about they're talking about 30 mines, 30 open pit mines, the size of twice as deep as the CN Towers. You can't have that. That's in that's on the peatlands. We have the second largest peatlands in the world. So once those peatlands are disturbed, it's going to release carbons. And what happens when the carbons are released from the peatlands? That's the end of humanity. We're not only fighting for our First Nation people, we're fighting for everybody. We're fighting for humans. We're fighting for humankind. So that's why we're very vocal. Our people, our Anishinaabe people, have since time immemorial occupied the Ottawa River and its watershed, the tributaries. We've always been there since time immemorial. We continue to hunt, we continue to fish, we continue to gather medicines, sustain ourselves. That's what we fight for. That's another thing we fight for. Ontario and Canada has recently passed Bill C-5, that goes against our inherent right, that goes against our treaty rights. You can't do that. You can't do that. And last thing I want to say is, one day when Canada and Ontario passed those legislation to go against our rights, not only did they waken up the sleeping giant, which means bringing all the nations together. That's all they did was wake up a sleeping giant to bring all the nations together to stand together and fight, and we shall continue. That's why I'm here too, and my representing my community is to support the stand against the nuclear waste. And we've always said, no matter what, if they don't repeal Bill 5, if they don't repeal Bill C-5, if they continue with the nuclear waste, we will fight in the media. We will fight in public. We will fight in the boardrooms. We will fight in the courts. And when it comes to me, we will fight on the land.